Oriire Funowo, good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I am Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, and Babalao of Ile-Ife, Orisa. I want to thank you for joining us for another lesson in our video blog series. I invite you to click the links below to become a subscriber to this channel. Click on the notification button to stay up to date. And please share this resource with your family, friends, associates, and anyone you feel may benefit from this wisdom. Our topic for this video review from my September 2016 blog post is witnessing the power of your prayers. And I want to share some of my personal experiences with you in this video. Homage to the one who sends and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. There's an Ifa expression that goes, Igba Oludumare Nigba. It is the time of Oludumare that is time. In my post for August and October 2016, and in my July and August 2021 video reviews, I talked about Adura, the power and benefits of Adura, prayer, and things we pray for. I hope these messages help you, each of you, on your personal spiritual journey. Ayeloja Orunile. The world is the marketplace. The spirit world is home. This is another Ifa proverb from the Sacred Odu Ifa. Our journey in the marketplace can be difficult and sometimes painfully so. If you're a regular reader of my blog, then like me, you are a person who believes in a higher sentient being and a spiritual reality. Maybe you're a devotee of Ifa, or maybe you're still searching for your path. I traveled a number of paths as I unwittingly found my way to Ifa. Nothing has been left behind in that journey. The knowledge and experiences gained during each stage of my journey have helped me to become the person I am today and to more fully appreciate the Ifa Isheshe, the Ifa spiritual tradition. As I think back over my journey, I can see how the pieces fit together like a quilt or well-designed structure. But as each of the stitches and pieces, the stones and mortar were being put into place, the outcome was still unknown to me. When you go into the store and you buy a puzzle at the store, you get a picture on the box so that you know what the finished product will look like. The Oja, the marketplace, is not like that. Oh, it would be so much easier if the journey was completely known to us, but it probably wouldn't be as exciting. Instead, especially for those of us growing up outside of the Isheshe, you have to put the pieces together without a pattern or a blueprint, at least not one that is obvious to you when you first strike out on your particular path. Something about the nature of this journey compels you, however, to reach out. That's why you're listening to this video and hopefully have subscribed to this channel. You know that you're not personally in total control of your reality. Yet, something haunts you with the idea that you can influence even what seems beyond your control. As believers, we share a sense of a metaphysical, spiritual connection to something that has the power to influence the course of our lives and assist us in creating a beautiful structure, even without a pattern or blueprint. In Ifa, we call that something our Oriire, our spiritual Ori, our inner head, our share of the omniscient consciousness of the Creator. It is your Oriire that makes you more prepared for this journey and more powerful than you think you are. Being able to witness the power of your prayers is an essential condition for the structure of the Oja. If Olodumare, Orisa, and the Emole, the immortals, did not answer your prayers, and if your Egun, your ancestors, did not intercede in your behalf by speaking to you, the fabric of the marketplace, the fabric of the Oja, and the Ashe that binds it to the Orun, to the spiritual realm, would disintegrate. Adura, prayer, Ti'ilana Isen, ritual, and Ishe Isen, ceremony, are the very powerful means of influencing your and my reality. Of course, there are those who would say, hogwash. But for the devotees like you, who have witnessed the power of your prayers time and time again, there is no doubt in your mind and heart that prayers work. And coincidence fails as an explanation for what you have experienced. I know that personally. You should also know that it is not important to convince others. It is only important that you bear witness to your own truth. Sometimes the timing between the things that you pray for and their realization is so close as to make their connection obvious to you. These occasions fortify you with faith, the strength of faith that can carry you through those occasions when the timing between your prayers and the manifestation of that which you prayed for extends out over a longer period of time. I mean, do you consider that some of the things that you pray for may take time, both because of the conditions of the world and because of your own readiness to cope with the reality of that which you have so passionately prayed for? Remember, your Ori Inu is working to protect and guide you at all times. That means that if you're praying for something and your Ori Inu recognizes that you're not quite ready for it, then that prayer won't be answered right away. There's something you have to learn, something you have to do, something you have to grow into before that prayer will be answered. My journey to the root is not complete. Over the past 20 years since I traveled to Ile-Ife, much has happened that I've not yet shared on the Oluwo Orisa website. I consulted with Orisa in 2011 to see if the way was open for me to begin my blog post to you. The answer was an absolute yes. The posts were and are based on what I have been taught, what I have read, what I have divined, and what I've experienced that has emboldened me on the path of Ifa. I am a witness to the power of prayer. 20 years ago, as I tell in my Journey to the Root, the journal that I did and it posted on the Oluwo Orisa website about my travels in Ile-Ife, I knelt in the sacred temple of Ifa and made a prayer. It was a prayer of gratitude, devotion, commitment that I could make a difference in some way. I did not know at the time, but that was one of those prayers that would take time and grow in consequence far into the future and far beyond anything I could have imagined at the time. Today, 20 years later, I am a member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, the Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, a Babalawo of Ile-Ife Orisa, and the Oluwo, keeper of the Ifa, having initiated my first Babalawo under the direction of the Isoro Council. My intention for the Ile-Ife Orisa website and this series of YouTube videos is to share with you information that will inspire you to continue your study of the Ifa spiritual tradition of Orisa and ancestor worship, and to establish your own regular Ifa practice. Here's a brief overview of Ile-Ife and the MSA, the root and repository of the Ifa spiritual tradition. Ile-Ife, Ile-Owuro, Ile-Ife, the land of the most ancient days. Ile-Ife, Odaye, Ile-Ife, where the word of creation took place. Ile-Ife, Ibiti Ojumo Timowa, Ile-Ife, where the dawn of the day was first experienced. Ile-Ife, Oriire Bogbo, Ile-Ife, head of the whole universe. Ile-Ife, Ooyelagbo, Ile-Ife, the city of the survivors. Ifani bawo ayeshishe. Ifa is how the universe works. The history of Ifa dates back to the beginning of creation and of this world, the Oja. There have been 3 cities called Ile-Ife, the present-day city being the third Ile-Ife. The first Ile-Ife was Ife Odaye, Ife, the genesis of creation. The first council of MSA was formed in Ife Odaye when Oduduwa was the first Ooni, and the Oriire were the first MSA council members. The MSA council has remained in place throughout the 3 cities called Ile-Ife, and they are still the repository, guardians, caretakers, and final authority on the Ifa Corpus and the Ifa spiritual tradition of Orisa and ancestor worship. Each member of the MSA can trace their lineage all the way back to the members of the original MSA council in Ife Odaye, back to the Oriire. The MSA have always remained in relative seclusion and are very rarely seen by the public or even devotees. They have authorized the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, also based on lineage to the beginning, of which I am a designated member, to serve as their public face. The MSA Council is the living source of the oral traditions and Ifa Corpus dating back to the beginning of time. Upon my return from Ile-Ife in 2001, I set up the Ile-Ife Orisa website and devoted it to the essence of my prayer made at the sacred temple. Little did I know that 10 years later, in 2011, not just 10 years later, but 10 years later to the very day, I would be blessed to become the very first Oluranse Emese. Never in the history of Ifa has anyone been designated with such a title and responsibility. To say that I am in awe of this answer to my humble prayer would be a complete understatement. You'll learn more about the MSA, the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, and the Ifa Spiritual Tradition on the website and in this series of videos. It is now my responsibility to bring the source to you. Prayer works. Do not give up on your prayers that take a long time to manifest, and do not think that you know exactly what they will bring forth. Ise Olurun Tobi, God's work is great and mighty. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ki Olodumare Orisha ati Egun, Fifune ni Itona Imoye ati Opo Ire. May Olodumare, Orisha, and ancestors bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbele, peace of mind from Olodumare. Ajo Lo, Ajo Bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.